Hey, good afternoon. My name is David, and I'm happy for you to be here today. So, today is the third podcast that I'm doing, and the topic is the children. So, I'm kind of an intuitive person, and I've had a lot of dreams over the last year or so, especially. They've really caught up and are seeming to be very meaningful in my life. And today I want to be talking about the children. Very important topic. The dreams have been very hard to understand and comprehend. Um, by the way, I am not a person. This is August 2020. I've never been a person to really wave around the American flag and be patriotic, but recent events, something has really changed in me. So I went out and bought this "We the People" shirt and this coffee cup that says "Give me liberty or give me death." And I'm just a different person now with some of the things, and definitely the children. What I've learned about the children has it's probably made me more patriotic than I've ever been in my entire life. And in fact, I should say, when I was in my 20s, coming out of college, I was very much on the side of where a lot of the Antifa energies are today. I was that energy. I had was very fond of Che Guevara, not very fond of the United States of America, and so I've come to learn a lot. I've come to understand kind of why that happened. That's another story for another day, which I will tell. But today we're going to focus on the children. There's a lot happening with the children. Let me get into it. Before anybody was talking or thinking about any children, really, there was a COVID-19 that hit in April. Okay, March and into April, it started getting bad. I got laid off from my job for a month, and what happened next was I had a lot of free time, and was learning about COVID. Then I started getting intuitive messages that I could decipher and write down, which is exactly what I did. And some interesting dreams related to children. It was right during the COVID pandemic. And matter of fact, I think I have dates of this stuff. So this would have been on April the 9th. And back then I was laid off from my job, so I had a lot of free time, and I would just get these intuitive messages early in the morning and write stuff down for like an hour or two. The first dream, there was a series at the time of 3 dreams that I had about children. And since then, I've had a total of 4 dreams, all told this year, with relation to children. At least, if I can think of another one, I will. But the first one was, this was right during the middle of the pandemic, when COVID first hit. I got a dream of a child. It was a boy who was crying. I did not see the child, did not see him, but I heard him crying. And it was, like a 4-year-old, 3 or 4-year-old cry. And what I did see was these cages, these cages that were like 5 feet by 5 feet by 5 feet, and they were stacked on top of each other. And the way I knew, in a way, I just knew it was inside Earth, somewhere inside the planet Earth. So I knew that, and all I got was the child crying, and that was it, the end of the dream. So I told my wife, I was kind of scratching my head about that, and said that was pretty alarming, but that was it. Well, maybe 2-3 days later, and it seemed like in a sequence, there was a second dream that I had about, which was let's see, in the second dream, I saw the child's face, and he was crying as a little boy. I saw him pretty clearly, like 3-4 years. He's probably 3, and he was crying. It's like, and I just saw his face, and I believe that was it for that dream. And in the third final dream, maybe another 2-3 days later, in this dream, I got I saw the little boy. He was in a grocery, something that was kind of like a metal grocery cart, sitting like you would put a child into the grocery cart. It was metal. And there were two men on either side of him. And I got the vision, this was underground in like a laboratory or something. These men were standing on either side of him, and I didn't know what it was at the time. They had a long stick, and the men had looked like I don't know, radiation suits on or something like that. But the boy was naked, and he was in this grocery cart that was metal, and they were shocking him in each shoulder. These prods were going into the shoulders, and they were shocking the boy, and he was crying. That was the third dream. Now, after I had this dream, this I believe was no, wait, there was a fourth dream that I had in the spring. The fourth dream that I had in the spring after that, a few days after that, was a dream in which I knew I could see there was a connection from up underground of these children being rescued. And it was like that very day, these children were received from underground and rescued to the surface. This was in April 2020. Okay, so now let me give you what my intuitive message was during that time. Your dream displayed the chasm in the earth and what is now healing it. Your own 3D surface humans have made the connection and will bring the healing light of an energy. This is trying to be contained, but it will not work. You will have more whistleblowers for this. Doctors, nurses, healthcare workers, volunteers than you have ever had for anything on your planet's history. Imagine more of a concentration of angels, sentient beings, and light workers from humanity than there has ever been at any time ever. That is what will happen for these children. This is the strongest path that will quickly destroy the institutions of old that let this happen on your planet. They will not survive. They can only hope to influence the sheepish believers. But the problem is there is now a critical mass of humanity that is not that way. And remember, this was back in April. These children agreed to this. Many are now in more angelic realms because of one lifetime suffered as a human child. So I assume that they're saying, obviously, the children would have agreed to this before they incarnated on this planet. The children agreed to this. Many are now in more angelic realms because of one lifetime suffered as a human child. And the people that did this to them are also on a spiritual path. The next step on the surface will be a great hatred of them. That does not help people get to the new earth. Talking about hatred toward the predators. That does not help people get to the new earth. But the healing energy of loving forgiveness does. So that was about that series of dreams. Now, what's interesting with that, to finish up on that, is I didn't know what the devices were, the long sticks that they were using, until I unearthed a whistleblower testimonial on the Dulce, New Mexico bases, who I first heard about from another intuitive, the Dulce bases, and not intuitive whose name escapes me, but I'll put it on the screen after this, who had a great understanding of tortuous, horrible things that happened in this underground military base. They call them DUMBs, DUMBs, deep underground military bases. And there's one in Dulce, New Mexico, and they connect via train to other bases. Now, what this intuitive had talked about was horrible things that he could not describe happening to women and children. Now, there was actually a military whistleblower who came forward about the Dulce base as well. And his name is, one second, I'll have his name, Thomas Costello. Thomas Costello is his name. You can look up his testimonial. So I did my research on the Dulce base. Dulce base is legit. You can even find local news media coverage of the Dulce, New Mexico area if you search on YouTube, in which these local people, that it's tribal, I believe it's Apache territory, and they say, yes, there's definitely something going on. All of the residents in that area have seen different things, and they believe that there is something going on there. That's coverage from regional local media. That's from like the 1980s and 90s, historical coverage, backed up by Thomas Costello, backed up by this intuitive. And so you come to a point, what Thomas Costello said was horrible things happening underground in these base in Dulce, including, I don't know what they called the one floor, but it was like basically hell on earth, where they tortured children. I don't know if that was linked to adrenochrome, but I do know he mentioned the word cattle prod. Cattle prods being used on children. So I looked up what a cattle prod was, and lo and behold, I saw the exact same thing that I saw in my dream. This long stick, slender stick with a thicker device on the end of it, which was being used on this child I saw in my dream. It's horrible, but I believe it's real. Okay, now I want to read a few other messages I've gotten related to children to help you discover the truths. Because right now, as of August 15th, there's not a lot of people on the surface. They're very, we have 100 plus cities that are going to be involved in a Save the Children March on August 22nd, this coming Saturday. But they are basically aware of the pedophilia from Hollywood. That's what's been exposed, and they're upset about that. They have no idea of what I'm telling you today. This is going to be coming next. Okay, what you see on your planet now is a division between black souls and white souls. So it's not talking anything about race. It's about souls, meaning having a white soul or a black soul. The black souls have a hatred of anything pure and clean and want to stomp it out at every turn. The white souls are very clean and pure and will stop at nothing to expose all crimes against humanity. So therefore, the truth will have to come out eventually, but the timing is important. If enough souls are able to wake up to the truth I have just mentioned, it can rapidly shift the dynamic on your planet. Pedophilia in all of its guises is and has always been an example of how the good gets stopped by the bad. They have used the purity of children to sustain their operations. Only in the pure light of consciousness can you see that. Only in the pure light of consciousness can we see what's been going on. And so it does us, we're doing our due diligence when we meditate, when we take deep breaths, take some time off, go with nature. It allows us to become more intuitive and able to see. In my mid-year update video, I said, and the intellect is done on this planet. It's all intuition now. This is a point where the intellect has been deceiving and destroying and manipulating us, we the people, but no more of that. We have intuition, we have our gut. That's a pure angelic connection, and we have it. We have the power. We just need to leverage it. The masses need to wake up with, and that's how you do it, with your intuition. Okay, so I'm going to go into a couple other messages that I have over the past few months. Now, this message was about a month ago, and this was right after my, which would have been my 5th dream that I had. So I had 5 total dreams. about the children. Now, right around this time a month ago, we were finishing up with July 4th. I had a podcast that day, and Ghislaine Maxwell was exposed. But it was right before all the pedophilia stuff started. The Wayfair scandal had not come out yet. The troll doll scandal had not come out yet. Nobody was this was a few weeks before celebrities' Twitter posts were being uncovered, like Chrissy Teigen and oh gosh, whatever the others' names are. But I had a dream in which it was a community coming together, almost like a funeral, like somebody had died. They come together. There were blacks and white people in all races that were hugging each other, and people were crying. I saw a black lady. She was an older black lady. She was crying, and it was all, I just intuitively knew it was upon learning what had really happened to the children on this planet. And we were coming together as people to heal our racial wounds and all of our wounds. It was a healing, loving energy in the room to heal. Okay, so this might be related to that. Around the same time, this message said, what you will discover next is a process in which free-flowing information is held back at the discretion of those in charge. A house of cards cannot stand. It is imperative that people collectively awaken during this time to discover their core truths, that beyond a government which is sworn to protect them is an evil force that lurks in the shadows, controlling certain elements of power from the background. If the people cannot clearly see the oppression they are being dealt on a daily basis, they have no power to stop it when that force comes to take that which is most precious to them, that their life and that of their family. However, with the work that has been done starting at the advent of Corona, many souls on your planet have woken up. People-powered systems are the way this planet moves forward. Okay, and I have one other message related to the children that I wanted to give you. Is that? Okay, maybe that was it. Yeah, I think that was it. So maybe today's video will be a short video. So I guess to summarize, I see what's happening. I know it's real, and then things happen to confirm my dreams. So this is real, guys. And one of the things that I do now and have done in 2020 to help my dreams become more vivid is hold on just a second, I'll get it for you. I take a product called r.e.a.l, and so I'm going to give some free advertising here. Have nothing to do with this company. Atomic Ormus, O-R-M-U-S, and this is by Suspended Solutions. So it comes in a bottle, and I take it every night. And it has monatomic gold and other elements, trace elements that we have in our body. This is a way to think of it. Almost like, we have magnesium and potassium and sodium in our body. So we take vitamin supplements to supplement that and provide more of those needed essential vitamins and minerals. These are minerals that are naturally occurring in our body, but in very trace small amounts. And so we don't get any of that from vitamins, but this r.e.a.l gives you that, and it's all related to intuition. And it helps people become creative, So in my profession, I have to be creative. If you're an artist or an architect, it's a designer, a writer, anything. We can all use more creativity. So ORMUS, ORMUS, helps you be more creative. And so doing the ORMUS, the dreams are vivid, you know. I told you about how these dreams happened, and then now it's starting to happen. I posted in Facebook that, you know, in the right before Independence Day, I knew something's going to happen with kids, and sure enough, a month later, it's happening. It's not that I'm a prophet. It's that we all have this ability, but you need to meditate. You need to let go of technology. You need to listen to good music. 432 hertz music. It's called binaural beats with headphones, and it's really, really helpful to you getting on the vibration of Mother Earth. And if you're not on the Earth's frequency, then you're on somebody else's frequency, and you know, that's not good. The only other thing I wanted to say in this video was a confirmation, which is a video I will try to link after this. I'll try to link all my sources. And by the way, the intuitive who also talked about Dulce Bass, his name was Alex Collier. He's an intuitive. So Alex Collier, you got Thomas Costello. We're going to have more and more whistleblowers come forward with this information about things that are going on underground. You've got Corey Good talking about the underground military bases, many, many whistleblowers. So it's out there, folks. You just got to do the research or trust your gut, trust your intuition on this stuff. You can ask prayer or meditation at night before you go to bed to you know, just show me the truth. Show me the truth, and you'll get it. You'll get it if you open up the potential to believe in something that you might not understand. Otherwise, remember in my last video, it said perception shapes your reality. So if you can't perceive that something bad is happening underground to children, or that Hollywood are filled with pedophiles, then you might just reject that, and you're really you're missing a lot. You're missing a lot of life if you think you already know things that you really don't know. Part of being intuitive is opening up to a question mark, and it's just saying, you know, I'm here to learn. You know, I'm here to understand. So the other thing I wanted to say with relation to whistleblowers was the message I got back in the spring. Now that was about the children that were suffering underground. It was also about being raised up to the earth, and that they were being rescued. Well, at that time, there were some in the whatever community you want to call it, conspiracy theory community, I guess, who were reporting some interesting things that you wouldn't see on mainstream media. These were not firsthand, but these were secondhand sources. But they were sources saying that the things that are happening to the things that intuitives are getting about the children being rescued are real. I think David Wilcock was reporting on children being rescued, and that the tents and even the ships not so much the ships. I think the ships were for the pedophiles, the ships in New York and LA, but the tents where medical staff were there were not related to Corona. They were related to these children. And in fact, a few weeks after that, her name, I want to give her credit, Nyla Nguyen, and I'll post that after this video. But her name was Nyla Nguyen. She has a YouTube channel. She actually had two sources. They were secondhand sources, but they were one lady who was talking about, it was a nurse from North Carolina who had taken a temporary job to go to New York and to assist with the coronavirus. That's what she was told. But when she got there in these tents that were above ground, outside tents, she was caring for these children who had been abused from underground. She said they were underground. Many of them were in a terrible condition. They had this condition on their eyes, and like raccoon eyes, where they had been beaten and tortured, similar to what I had gotten at that around that same exact time frame. The second one was a male, young male, and he was talking about a secondhand source, another source of someone he knew who confirmed that, yes, it's really horrible, horrible things that are going on to these children. I'll try to post both of those links in the video if they're still active on YouTube. That's an issue. None of this is being covered by the mainstream media. None of the pedophilia stuff is being covered by the mainstream media, but that's okay, because we the people are the media now. So I mean, we're more powerful. The corporate media is going to be going down in flames, really. And that's what I've gotten in my intuitive messages, is that, yeah, they're going to try to hide this, but it's not going to work. I've heard that there are several people in the media that are, let's look at the media, the mainstream media, for a second. You've got this older generation that has always tried to conceal. It's kind of been the culture, conceal, like Elsa, conceal, don't feel, don't let it show. But the younger generation, and look, I'm in the middle, I'm Gen X, but these millennials, they want everything exposed to the light. It's so beautiful, which is good. You expose it to the light. That's the only way. That's the only way the future is going to go. And so it's a good thing. It's a real positive thing to expose this. Now, there's young millennials in the media, and do you think they get into journalism as a career? I mean, it's not like you're becoming a doctor or a lawyer. I'm sure some of them want to become the next Anderson Cooper and become famous, but generally speaking, I believe a lot in the journalistic profession of young people, be they conservative or liberal-minded. They're probably going to be more progressive, but they want to do right and good. And I see it in the faces of people in PBS. And PBS is the engine, the vehicle that I get the intuitive sense that they are having a real hard time right now. And some other news branches, there's going to be people that break off from the media. That's going to happen. I'm telling you, August the 15th, media people are going to be defecting. And it's going, when it happens, it's going to be bad. We already at a point where the New York Times has had one who has defected, and another one, and I can't remember her name, has defected from MSNBC. Now, the one that left MSNBC came out and said, the one that left New York Times said journalism is in the toilet right now, and I can't continue. But the one from the MSNBC literally called the corporate media a cancer on our planet. So have to deal with that in another topic. But I also, guys, I have these shirts that say, don't tread on children. I can do a shirt. I can do bumper stickers. Those will be here. Those are available. Let me know if you're interested in shirts. We need to spread this message out. We need to save these children. We do everything we can. The media is going to try to conceal, don't feel, don't let it show. That's not going to work. We the people are in charge now. Remember that. Love you guys. Have a good day.